Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of The Truth is Barrel Proof. I'm Jack Bigadoo, also known as the Hood Sommelier. If you hear, thank you. Let's talk about what's happening at Jim Beam or the James B. Beam Distillery. Something interesting is happening at Jim Beam, and I think a lot of people don't know or don't understand it yet. Let me back up. If you think of Beam as a company, we think of Jim Beam as a brand. We think of Booker's as a brand, Little Book as a brand. Um, what what are the Beam product is out there that I'm not thinking of right now? Uh, but the one brand that we are not talking about yet, in my opinion, is Hardin Creek. And you have to understand what's happening at Jim Beam is to understand the importance of family. Right? Booker Noe, master distiller, his cousin Baker, like the brand Bakers as well, as part of Beam, have been creating whiskey holding the tradition of making Kentucky whiskey close to the sleeve and close to the heart. And they part this tradition upon their kid, which we have Fred Noe. Fred Noe have upheld how his dad made the whiskey and kept the tradition of how to make Booker's. Booker's is one of my favorite whiskey, and I've collected every single bottle of them. Then come his son, Freddie. And Freddie is an eighth generation master distiller out of the Beam distillery. And I want to say this kid because him and I are about the same age. This man said, Dad, Granddad, I am going to keep our tradition, but let me be curious. Let me do something different while I'm holding on to tradition. And that's what's happening at Beam Distillery right now. We've seen this with the two latest release of the little books, the Hardin Creek that was released, but the newest was announced June 1st of 2023 is the Hardin Creek Kentucky series. And in this series, Freddie was going around looking at inventory and realized that somewhere around there they've had some Beam juice that are over 15-year-old, to be 17-year-old to be exact, that is still in some of their warehouse. To give you some image, there is three campuses or three major rig houses that the Beam Distillery own. One in Boston, one in Frankfurt, and one in Claremont. Those are all three cities around Kentucky. But each cities or each area have its own elevation, its own terroir, and its own effect on barrel. Then comes the idea to Freddie to say, hey, uh, let's see how the terroir, right, is the same juice, the same mash bill, but let's see how being miles apart in the same state, would they taste different, right? So these are limited barrels. 17-year-old. Have you ever tried 17-year-old Jim Beam? No, I don't think anybody can say, I've tried 17-year-old Jim Beam. This is your opportunity. These are limited barrels. 17-year-old batched together from the same, like this is not old proof down. No, just batched together in the same, from the same rig house to see if they will be different. So imagine taking three of your kids, triplet, born the same day, put them in three different countries, and try to see what is their character when they come back to you. And that's what is happening here. Freddie, for me, that's innovation. That's proven that Kentucky as a state not only have an excellent weather pattern that may be different, but also putting your own barrels to the test to really prove if yes or no you are doing the right thing, and are you really challenging your palate. And it's happening right now. Here come Hardin Creek. These will be released by increment. The first one that you're gonna see on the market is the Clermont. The Clermont is the first campus that they're releasing from. The proof on the Clermont is 110 proof, right? And the next one you're going to see, I believe, is going to be the Boston campus, and then the third one is going to be the Frankfurt. So I have all three here, but today in part one, we are actually going to try the Clermont because that's what's coming on the market, and hopefully I'll get you the taste on the rest of them. Now we enough talk about the juice. Let's see what it tastes like. The nose is, typically beam. For me, beam, aged beam give you beautiful raisin, dry raisin, spice, nuttiness, a little bit of that nuttiness on it, but a little bit of that. For me, it's like the when you take your peanut and it been roasted, the just the shell of the peanut, that's where I get on that nose there. All right, let's try it. Shut up, man. You shut the front door right now. Holy moly, mother of God. If you're a Beam fan, like if you like the Bookers, the Bakers, the Jim Beam, I will tell you this. I want to give you notes, but I'm going to put it in one word: delicious. Period. Just delicious. If a 17-year-old whiskey is supposed to taste perfect, this is it. This is it. It's bright, it's citrusy. My tongue is literally dripping right now. Like I'm salivating. Like my tongue is salivating right now. There's a little, even some caramel sea saltiness in the mid palate. Yeah, caramel sea salt right in the mid palate. It's not really a salt, but it feels that way. A little salty. I'm assuming that campus maybe closer to some body of water. But and man, the finish is mellow. The finish remind me of of the best way to describe the finish is when you finish your homework first, that satisfaction that you get that you're done. I know I nailed this thing. That's the finish. The finish is certain. But the truth is barrel proof. We say what we want to know, how the whiskey make us feel, and what can we pair it with, right? And right now, this whiskey makes me feel amazing. Makes me feel like I've heard great news. Makes me feel like I'm going to meet with my favorite uncle, and we are gonna have a good time. That's how this whiskey makes me feel. Um, as far as the what will I pair this thing with? I hate to say it, but this is chicken. It's chicken. I want a baked chicken legs or thigh, um, and a little bit of rice. Chicken and rice. Chicken and rice is what I will pair this thing with. But also, this also will work for a cigar. So, have you tried Hardin Creek? Do you know about the Kentucky series of Hardin Creek? And would you be looking for one? Let me know in a comment. I would love to hear what you have to say about it. Until next time, thanks for being here. Cheers.